Whether it's due to travel, personal appearances, or in-ring action, WWE performers have very little time to work out on a daily basis. Although the stars of the WWE do sacrifice the minimal amount of time they have for the gym, there are some that simply don't have the energy to push their bodies to the limit during a workout. This causes a bit of a dilemma in a profession that requires its stars to perform in their underwear. By the time some of the WWE superstars hang up their boots, they resent their former lifestyle and gain a ton of weight in the process, transforming into an unrecognizable version of themselves. On the flip side, losing the daily grind that comes along with being a WWE star reinvigorates some, giving them time to finally dedicate some much needed attention to their bodies. Today we're going to look at 5 former champions in the WWE and how their bodies seem to improve after retiring from the squared circle. Keep in mind that some of these wrestlers looked good before, but having time off from the road has allowed them to look even better than ever. Trish Stratus. Much like her former co-worker Diamond Dallas Page, Trish Stratus has staked her claim in the yoga world with her creation of Stratosphere Yoga. Her complex is billed as Canada's largest eco-friendly yoga studio, winning awards annually since its inception in 2008. Stratus removed her breast implants after retiring from the ring and chose to focus her energy on her body in a more healthy way than she did while working for the company. Her determination certainly paid off, as the former women's champion has a body which could be argued looks better than the one she wrestled with. Besides being defined from top to bottom, Stratus is also more flexible than she's ever been in her life. Or at least that's what she says. Number 4. Triple H. So given that Triple H only shows up to wrestle about one event a year at this point, it's safe to say he counts as being retired. Don't take our word for it, the game has already admitted that he is annoyed when he has to wrestle, which is why he's only been televised in 2 non-pay-per-view matches in the past 4 years. If we are looking at this objectively, the end of an era match between Triple H and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 28 should probably be where we mark the end of the former world champion's full-time career, as he quickly transitioned into a player behind the scenes after. During the end of his active run, Triple H came back and wrestled a few matches, but looked like he was melting, with his once sculpted frame succumbing to Father Time. If you fast forward to WrestleMania 23, you'll see Triple H's body was completely transformed, looking more intimidating than ever before. The game's 1 a.m. workouts have certainly paid off. If you follow his social media, you'll know what we're talking about. Number 3. Al Snow. Since leaving the WWE, Al Snow has had quite the journey. From working for alternative promotions to opening up his own wrestling school, the semi-retired wrestler still keeps busy. Perhaps he's the most busy posting to his Instagram, where by all accounts he looks absolutely jacked. Currently in his 50s, Snow looks quite different than he did during his run as the WWE Hardcore Champion. He's traded in the long hair and flabby midsection in favor of giant biceps and a redefined physique. It's actually pretty nuts to see a guy who, at his best, was a mid-carder during the Attitude Era, transform into a guy who looks like he could be the heavyweight champion. Unfortunately for Snow, it's about 20 years too late to capitalize on that, but maybe a surprise Royal Rumble entry might still be in the cards. Number 2. Kozlov. Before you freak out, Kozlov was a tag team champion along with Santino Marella back in 2011. Now that we have that out of the way, let's remember back to when Kozlov was first introduced as a monster heel in 2006. The Eastern European looked like a legitimate threat with his classic build and lack of entrance music. The WWE never capitalized though, and Kozlov became a comedy act shortly after. After a semi-memorable run, Kozlov retired from the ring in 2011 and focused on acting. The former tag team champion landed a few roles in Hollywood, appearing in the Fast and Furious franchise, and more recently John Wick 2. Although if you saw him, you probably wouldn't have figured out who you were looking at, as Kozlov looks completely different than he did in the ring. The Moscow Mauler slimmed down his wider frame and decided to throw on some abs for good measure. Kozlov credits the change in his appearance to needing to be more flexible for stunt work in the movie industry. Number 1. Mick Foley. During his most recent run as the Raw General Manager, the WWE Universe got to witness Mick Foley disappear before their very eyes. Well, maybe he didn't completely disappear, but most of them did. As one of the dozens of former wrestlers whose bodies were saved by DDP Yoga, the hardcore legend finally slimmed down, losing an incredible 100 pounds over the course of a single year. For many fans, it's great to see one of their childhood heroes finally take strides to get healthy, and at this point, Foley has actually even been able to get back into the ring at some indie shows, a feat that he never thought he'd be able to do just a few years ago. In the past, Foley's been able to drop lots of weight, but keeping it off seems to be his problem. Hopefully this time around, he'll finally be able to keep it off for good. Did any of these transformations shock you? Are there some that we missed? Feel free to let us know down in that comment section, and if you like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell button so you're notified whenever we drop a video. Thanks for watching.